Hi David.
What were you doing before you became a barrister?
So I was practicing as a solicitor in commercial litigation and insolvency at regional firms, London firms, and I did find it really interesting and stimulating. But I used to get really frustrated when I had to hand over a case whenever it went to court, because that for me was the exciting part of it.
Was there any other reason why you decided to become a barrister?
Yes, I was always really interested in presenting detailed legal arguments in court, with a view to getting a judge to determine a case in my favour. And I also really enjoyed the problem-solving elements of it.
So why commercial law?
So commercial law, primarily because I've always been interested in business and business interests, and I've always been really impressed with people that start up businesses on their own from scratch. And it's a really dynamic area to be in, because it's quite fast paced and the law is constantly changing. So for all those reasons, I was always most interested in commercial law.
Why did you decide to join Forum Chambers?
I decided to join Forum Chambers because I wanted to work for a smaller set which focused on my chosen specialisms, which are commercial, financial services and insolvency. And I also wanted to work with smaller to medium enterprises, as well as the larger companies and corporations.
And what's it been like?
I've really enjoyed it. I've had a real mixture of cases. They've varied in size and subject matter, but they've all been really interesting. I genuinely can't think of one that's been boring. And everyone here works very hard and is incredible at what they do, but they're also very approachable and sociable.
Obviously, it's a big change from being a solicitor who's employed to being self-employed as a barrister. What sort of support have you had?
I've had lots of support from my head of chambers and the clerk. So all of the, you're right, it's a completely different way of working, but I feel like it's been a seamless transfer because I've had so much support. And I've also had 2 children since I've been here, and I've had great support in that regard as well. There's a very good flexible working policy, and the clerks on a day-to-day level always make sure that I've got good notice before hearings and conferences, which make juggling the childcare and family life a lot easier.
What do you think the work-life balance is like doing commercial law as opposed to, say, family law or criminal law?
I think it's much better, because I think in those other areas I feel you probably would get a lot less notice, whereas the clerks here are able to manage it so that I do get that notice and I can make arrangements. It's very rare that something would happen genuinely at the last minute.
Is there anything you've not enjoyed about being a barrister?
The only thing I would say I miss is the direct contact with the lay client. That's something that I did really enjoy as a solicitor, and I had a lot of. Great.
Is there any particular advice you give to somebody who's thinking about becoming a barrister?
I would say that if you are thinking about it, the best idea is to actually try and work with solicitors and barristers by way of vacation schemes or shadowing a barrister to see whether it's really for you, because that's the only way I actually understood what it meant to do those jobs, because I didn't have anybody in my family who did those jobs. So my knowledge before I did those things came from TV. So I would encourage you to do that, and if it's something that you do think you would like to do, to pursue it with determination and not be put off by what you think might be a barrier to it, because your ability to do the job and your interest in it will shine through if you keep at it.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience, Ruhi.
Pleasure.